Okay, Dion Bailey had a dental issue that came up this morning that didn't allow him to practice. Junior Palme still not back. Had another x-ray this morning, and so they're still looking at that. Buck Allen still not back, and the rest of the guys did something in some form. George Farmer, Randall Telfer, Xavier Grimble, and Soma did most of the stuff, and Collard was back. So it's good to have some guys back. We're still down on receivers, which is why we tried to just help our quarterbacks out today by bringing back Patrick and Damian, which was good to see. And just another example of Trojan players helping each other out. We need some help, so good to have those guys out here.
How much did those guys do?
They did individual and did all the stuff with the quarterbacks in pre-practice.
With Junior Palme, they don't know if he's got a break in there or anything?
No, it's not a break. They just have to be safe with it, re-examine it, and have somebody else look at it, but it's not a break.
What do you think of this trip that the players are going to take to Haiti after school? Are you on board with that?
Yeah, pretty neat. Obviously headed up by Matt. Haven't done things like this before, but it's good to see the rest of the guys want to get involved and, for a great cause.
Where was Jesse Robinson?
Jesse's kind of, as we come down the wire in academics here, the importance of how well he finishes. So he's coming to our meetings, but because he can't do all the stuff in practice, we're leaving him in academics during practice to get some extra work.
Is he in danger of being ineligible if he doesn't meet a certain standard at the end of the semester?
That's you have a number of kids like that every semester, so they have to finish strong.
Yeah, I've seen Jesse do some stuff, like individual work or whatever. What is it that he can't do?
Yeah, he just can't do all the movements with his hip and really drive everything, be able to move around in the pocket and stuff. And so none of that will matter if he doesn't finish up academically. So it was more important for him to be in there.
Where was Drew McAllister today?
Drew practiced, and then in special teams, his hip started bothering him, so they pulled him out.
Anything come out of the scrimmage, watching the film, that you didn't see initially that either impressed you or left you?
Not really. I mean, once again, just so hard to evaluate. So few skilled players on offense, especially at tight end. Because it's one thing not have receivers, but not have a tight end. It's hard to evaluate your defense and your offense.
Is it Antoine who's made a step up a little bit?
Yeah, the two noses, JR and Antoine played really well and did some things. Antoine's really improved a lot. And so obviously it's good for those guys. And then JR a little later played 3 technique and did well there. And so the size issue with JR is not showing up.
Regardless of who starts, they're both going to play, you would expect, this season.
Yeah, we have to play more guys on the defensive line. And that's been obvious by our fourth quarter production on defense in general, playing guys, especially up front.
Demetrius was getting some first-team reps today. Is he just looking to see what he can do?
Yeah, Demetrius has really flashed throughout spring. He's just an MVP of the day-to-day. Really dominates special teams drills early on, too. So he's becoming more consistent, and I think he's really taking to the new coaching, too.
How much did moving to middle linebacker set back Devon Kennard's development, and how does he look out there now?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, because he was an outside linebacker initially, and then in the middle, and then defensive end. So there's no way to tell what that did. But he's improved, and a lot like guys do there last year. For whatever reason, guys in their senior year play better, and you can see that improvement. And he's the healthiest he's been.
Are you going to have to be a little more patient with guys fumbling next season because there aren't a lot of running backs to rotate into the game?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully we won't have to worry about that. They don't fumble. I have no idea. I don't know who's going to be there, who's going to be healthy, how it's so far away. How well do they develop?
You said you'd be comfortable with both of the quarterbacks that played Saturday. Would you be comfortable almost equally with the 3 running backs that you got now?
Yeah, well, I think it's different because they're so different in what they do. But I think all 3 are doing well, and unfortunately, the 4th one in Buck hasn't been healthy for us to be able to evaluate. But I think those 3 guys are doing extremely well.
Talk about the development of Jawanza Starling. It seems like he's doing a lot better technique-wise, wrapping people up.
Yeah, Jawanza's main issue coming out of 2 seasons ago, our first year here, was tackling inconsistency and playing lower. And he's improving, much like the whole secondary's improving. I think a lot of that has to do with Marvin being here and doing a really good job with those guys. And you can see their individual development on and off the field.
Kevin Graff has said it's been pretty easy for him to switch back to the left tackle position since he played it in high school. How do you feel he's adjusting?
Well, Kevin's playing right for us.
Right tackle.
Yeah, and Kevin was at right all last year for us, so it hasn't been an adjustment for him where he's comfortable to be able to play both sides because he did play left in high school.
What about Andre Walker?
Yeah, Andre's doing well over there. He struggles at times, going over to being a left side player if not doing it. But he does flash. Between him and Marcus on that left side, there's sometimes they really, in combination blocks, move some pretty good players off the ball Saturday.
Cal, it get back in the groove a little bit today. I mean, did you see enough to kind of have a feeling like he's back?
Yeah, obviously that's outside of the quarterback, positions, if not the second most important position, because he commands everybody out there. So he's an extremely intelligent player, so it's very valuable having him back. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.